Warning: this video may contain spoilers for plot elements and aspects of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. If you do not wish to have the film spoiled for yourself, please click away now. Sonic the Hedgehog, the 90s speedy platforming mascot turned TV star, and most recently, a movie star. Sonic's had a rough history, from bad games to weird TV shows and even weirder comics, but the blue blur has stayed relevant in pop culture throughout all of this, and now is a record-breaking hit. So, in this video I'd like to cover my thoughts on his most recent outing, his film. Generally, I think the film was alright. It was an enjoyable film. I watched it with my partner and we had a good time watching it. It was neat seeing all the little references that existed there to games and even some, different parts of Sonic culture. You know, it was fun, it was neat, and I really enjoyed it. I did enjoy the film. But I do like to think that a lot of the reason I enjoyed it was because of the actors. The actors who were working on the film worked really well. Ben Schwartz's version of Sonic has this childlike wonder to him throughout the film, and I love that. It's really good for Sonic to feel like that, considering he is. He's essentially a child throughout this film. He's barely a teenager, and it makes sense that he's going to be curious about this world around him. I think that James Marsden was really good as a character, really good as a side character to play off of Sonic with. It was like he was kind of a father figure, and it was pretty cool. So I do like the growth throughout the film and how the film ends, which I'll get into later. I really like how it ends. It's a really sweet ending. It's a really good film, and I really enjoyed it. I think that the story incorporations of the rings and, Sonic's homeworld is neat. Seeing Mobius shown there on, the big screen and actually explained as a different world to the Sonic universe, to our world, is really interesting, and I've really enjoyed that. I like the addition of the character Longclaw because it adds a bit of depth to why Sonic's on Earth, instead of, hey, I'm Speedy, let's go to Earth, And I think that showing the echidnas was a really neat detail for Sonic fans. People who really like the Sonic Adventure games get to see the echidnas on the big screen, they're like, I know who they are, I know what their story is. And this is great. And incorporating characters like Longclaw just pushes Sonic's backstory even further. You want to know more about where he comes from. You want to know more about his Green Hills compared to the town he lives in, Green Hills. I really like that. And obviously, we can't talk about this movie without talking about Jim Carrey. The man is in his 50s, and he's still putting out performances like back in the 90s. When he was The Mask, or Ace Ventura, or even The Cable Guy. He pushes out a performance so well in this movie, and I love it so much.
Are you in charge here?
Yes, I
Nope.
am.
Wrong. I'm in charge.
Is
Me.
Major
I'm
Ben
in charge.
He has this really fun dynamic that kind of plays into all of the roles he's played before, while still being unique and having its own little spice. He has this energy, and to quote him, he was very crotch-oriented during his dance scenes. But I really enjoyed Jim Carrey's performance, and it definitely helped push the plot a little. But, in the same realm as talking about Jim Carrey, we have to talk about Robotnik's side character, Agent Stone, played by a name I'm sure I'm going to butcher, Lee Majid, who has a good dynamic with Robotnik's character, and I genuinely enjoy the way they play off of each other. The chemistry they have is very fun, and generally speaking, it feels like they could be in this weird sort of platonic relationship kind of thing. It's a very fun thing. There's a scene from the trailer that, kind of emphasizes this point, and I really like how their dynamic is played out. Because Robotnik's a socially distant asshole, but Stone still admires him, still admires his ability. It's great, it's a good dynamic. I think that the story itself is very run-of-the-mill, but because of the actors' performances, it's definitely a lot more fun than it could have been. Ben Schwartz's Sonic, with his childlike glee, and James Marsden's Cop, who, has his own little merits and stuff, their performance together definitely helps the film play off a little better. Because you've obviously got James Marsden playing off of Ben Schwartz, and Ben Schwartz playing off of him. Ben Schwartz being from Parks and Rec, he already had an idea about comedy, and he probably had one long before that as well, but that's as far back as I know him from. And, you know, he's already got this idea of comedy and already got this idea of how to play off of people. And he uses that very well in the Sonic character, as well as having a childlike wonder. And in a scene I'm about to talk about at some detail, I think this is exacerbated the most. The bar scene. Essentially, in this scene, because I don't want to go into too much detail, it's not a full review, it's just first thoughts, but this is a very important scene to me. In the bar scene, you see the full nature of how childish, but close, Sonic is in this world. Sonic is really admirable of James Marsden's character, who he affectionately calls Donut Lord. He cares about him a lot, he thinks of him as family, but they've never met before this film starts. He's never talked to him. And in this scene, you get a sense that James Marsden's character's coming around. And in this scene, you see them play off of each other a little bit. You see Sonic, like, kind of feeling a bit dour, and then, you know, James's character asks, "Hey, Sonic," essentially, I'm paraphrasing, asks, "Hey, Sonic, what's up?" And Sonic goes, "I want to do this, I want to do this thing, I'm a kid, I want to do this thing." And he was like, "Tell you what, I'll get you a drink, and we can just chill, you know?" And eventually this breaks into this really fun little scene where they're just messing about. James Marsden's character plays darts, and then you've got Sonic's character fucking flinging the darts at light speed and nearly killing a woman. And then a bar fight happens. And this scene's kind of a Quicksilver parody, but it shows how childish Sonic can be. When the scene goes slow-mo, Sonic's running around the bar, doing all sorts of different crazy things. But they're all childish pranks. He's not aiming to hurt them. They're just childish pranks. He's messing them around. He's messing with them. It's just childish. And I love it. It's great. It's a full example of how childish Sonic is, because he's not familiar with this world. I love that a lot. But, as I was saying, the story is run-of-the-mill. Very road trippy. To compare it to another movie James was in, it is essentially a better version of Hop. It's a road trip film. A character from a world that's not familiar goes on a road trip with a character from a world that is. And, you know, the film plays out, different events happen, stuff like that. It's a children's film, and it knows it. It's fun. The dynamic between Ben Schwartz and Jim Carrey's pretty fun, though. There's this scene in the movie where they're running through a city. It's shown briefly at the beginning of the film and then shown later, where, you know, Jim Carrey becomes really confident at this point. He's got one of Sonic's quills and he's pushing through it, and he's really confident. And he knows he's going to move as fast as Sonic, which I think's really cool. And Sonic's obviously, like, jovial. He's still a kid. He's jovial. He's destroying the drones and stuff. You saw this scene in the original trailer with the scary design. And in this scene in the movie, all you see of Robotnik is him moving in slow-mo towards a button, and then he hits it. And then suddenly, the tables have turned. Now Robotnik's as fast as Sonic. What's Sonic gonna do? How's he gonna fix this? He doesn't straight away. He does mess up, actually. He runs away. He runs away from the situation, and he's gone. He's just gone. And it's honestly a bit wrenching. Like, your heart kind of goes, wait, did he just leave? What's just happened? And it's really interesting how the climax comes to a head, but I'm not going to mention that in this film. However, I'm going to mention something that was shown in the trailer, so I feel like I can. The fact that at the end of the movie, Robotnik looks like Dr. Robotnik. Bald head, big mustache, and Jim Carrey plays this great. It's awesome. There's a mushroom world mentioned very early in the film, and yeah, I'd rather not go into more detail. There's also a cameo right after the credits that you probably know about by now, but I'm not going to spoil anything here. And generally, the flow of the film's quite fun. However, I do feel like the film slows down in places where it probably shouldn't, or it maybe zooms through something too fast. I wanted to see how Sonic's relationship with Tom's dog, that's James' character by the way, would develop. Like, come on, you can't just show him having fun with the dog and then not go anywhere with it. But regardless, this video's getting on. It's about 9 minutes at this point, so I'm gonna just kind of run down a little, slow down, and just tell you in conclusion what I think you should do from this point. This film is really good. It's good fun, and I imagine kids would love this movie. So I would say, go watch it. Obviously not right now, because, you know, this situation, as the Game Grumps affectionately call it, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, you can't go out and see it, but if you can get a digital copy legally, go watch it. Go get a copy and watch it, because it's such a fun film. If you're a Sonic fan, there'll be a lot there for you to love, and if you're just a moviegoer, there'll be a lot there for you to love. It's a really good film, and I genuinely recommend watching it. Because it's one of those films that I didn't think would be that good when I first watched it. I was hesitant about its quality. But then I watched it, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Me and my partner really enjoyed the film. It was a good film. And I think that, at the end of the day, that's all that matters about the film. It's not going to be like a high-budget Marvel film, or a really shitty-budget college film. It's just a fun video game movie that's not shit. And I love that. So, go watch it if you can. And if you can't, I'm sorry, but I would recommend trying to watch it through whatever means you can find. I'm not going to endorse piracy. But, thank you for watching my video and my dumb ramblings about the Sonic movie. I think that it's good. I think the casting was good. I think it was fun. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you liked it, please hit the like button. It lets me know that you would like more First Thoughts things. If you didn't, dislike. If you did not like it, hit the dislike button so I know that I can, like, you know, scrap this First Thoughts series. But thank you for watching. Like, genuinely, thank you so much. I really want to get back into doing YouTube, so this is a good starting point. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in whatever review comes next. Bye!